my channel. I'm pretty energetic today. Not really. It's just I'm only at home for like 3 days now and I'm really happy to do a recording because I missed my recording last week and I didn't upload anything last week, so I have to keep up my work. So right now I'm doing another video. This is my second video right now, so I'm really excited to do this right now because I'm going to do Top 10 Thursday. Yes, I know Top 10 Thursday sounds like Top 10 Tuesdays, right? If you're a book blogger, you already know what is Top 10 Tuesday. It will be just same as it is. I just changed the day because I mostly upload Thursdays, sometimes on Fridays. That's why I thought I just really wanted to do this like weekly or every other week thingy, and I just really wanted to share my favorite books read or favorite merch or favorite book covers, anything that I could totally think of. Anyway, let's start this video with a bang because Halloween is near, autumn season is here, cozy season is here. I think you really need a spooky reads this year. So I will totally recommend top 10 books that I really love reading when this season comes. So if you really love some spooky reads in this season, I'm going to recommend you some of my favorite books. This is going to be a mix up of ghost stories and monsters, vampires, and everything such like that. I didn't get sorted out because I was just really excited to share to you. So this is going to be a really mixed up recommendation, but I really hope you guys going to read this because this is just my favorite stories of all time. So let's get things started. First book I'm going to recommend for you is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. This book is about the ghost hunting. So if you really love ghosts and hunters, it's just going to be like that. The protagonist is the one who's looking for ghosts, and he's not really killing them. It's just he really wants them to bring it back to the other world where the ghosts belong, and that's all about it. But when he met Anna in the story, it's just there's something change him about it, that he doesn't really want to go Anna back, and Anna tells about her backstory. It's just really different affection is something like that, and it's a really great story, and I really want you to guys read it. So the second book I'm going to recommend is a middle grade book, and it's City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This book is absolutely one of my favorite history ghost book because the author really transport me in other country as well, and I already forgot which the first country. I think it's Ireland or Scotland or something like that, but the protagonist was Cassidy Blake. Cassidy Blake have parents that are really into paranormal activities and really looking for ghosts or something like that, and unleash. It's like a documentary thingy in the TV shows. And it's a really good story also that I really love. I didn't read it, I personally listened it to the audiobook, and it's really perfect because it is totally on point, and I just quickly imagine the places and all stuff like that. It's a really great book. So I highly recommend for you to read City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. And I think it is a series. The second book I think is a Tunnel of Catacombs. I think so, I really forget. I'll totally just put it here in the screen. So I think the third book will be releasing next year, and I'm really excited to listen that also because it's just an amazing story. So the third book I'm going to recommend is Asylum series by Madeleine Rooks. This series is absolutely my favorite because it has a really great backstory. It's a pretty slow burn ghost story, but I understand why it is a slow burn because it's a really stepping stone from the very start of the book. But in the next book of the series, it's already fast, and I just really love the story, the backstory of each character, and it's just creeping me out. And I just really love a good ghost stories, and I highly recommend that you should guys totally check out Asylum by Madeleine Rooks. Another ghost story, I just really love ghost stories. Another ghost story is from my favorite author, Rin Chupeco, and that is The Girl from the Well. So, The Girl from the Well, I think this is one inspired from Sadako. If you know Sadako, a Japanese horror girl with the black hair and white white dress, and it's really scary. I just really love the story itself. If you really want to have a really creepy and just giving you chills at night reading that book, I highly recommend for you guys to read that book, because that book did keep me all night reading. Even though it's scary, I just really can't miss. I read it one night and it's perfectly. I think it is a series also. The second book is The Suffering. I think I already forget the story about that, but the first book was the one that totally gave me creeps. So I highly recommend for you guys if you really love a ghost story about Sadako. I think that is a really perfect one. The next story I'm going to recommend for you is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. This one is not really a horror thingy, but I think it totally fits on the theme, because monster slaying is something. It's really perfect. I just really love the cuteness and the story of this one, because this reminds me of Alice in Wonderland with the slaying thingy. I think there's a gameplay of that, and it's just really a really good story and there's an adventure in that. It's a really fast-paced book also, and I just highly recommend it if you really love a monster slaying book. I highly recommend for you to read The Bone Houses, because it's all about that, and I just really love the characters there. It's kind of cute and funny, but absolutely stunning story. Another from the author is The Hearts We Sold by same author, Emily Lloyd Jones. This one is absolutely one of my favorite works from her, because this includes death. Okay, it's not a horror story, but everything includes death. It's just a pretty good horror story. This one is pretty what do you call this? This one is a pretty good story, and I just really love the incredibility that comes in the story, because death will be the one who will manage you. So like, if you want something to fix in your relationship, like broken family, you can totally fix it, call death. That's it. But there's an exchange of that. It could be critical. That depends on you, what you wish. On this one, the protagonist, I think she wishes something really big, that, as in the title, her heart will be sold by death. And that was it. And I just really love the story of it, and it's just completely amazing. I just really love. It's like a horror fantasy thingy, but that's the thing about that book. It's like a fantasy horror theme, and I just really love the setting of it. So I highly recommend for you guys to read that. This one I just read recently, and I just fall in love with it, and it's Vampires in Portlandia by Jason Tanamore. Sorry, I have to cheat. Jason Tanamore. This one, the author is a Filipino American, and he talks about Filipino monsters, like our monsters, like Manananggal. If you don't know Manananggal is the one that cuts in half, the body cuts in half and have wings or something like that. It's a really scary when our grandparents going to tell a horror story, they keep saying Manananggal, and it's really scary. Way back in like 90s, 80s centuries, it was a really good. Also, this book was absolutely flawlessly written. I just really love that the author just combined all Filipinos, what they call us, all Filipinos aswangs, and he written it really beautifully. I just really can't imagine that it blended so perfectly. Also, he stated some places in Philippines that I really wanted to go now, and it's just really amazing. Once the books comes out, I really want you guys to check it. Check Vampires in Portlandia by Jason Tanamore. It's just absolutely great book. The next 3 books I'm going to tell you are anthologies that I've read recently and few years ago. These just 3 books, and it's just really perfect for fall reads. And the first book first anthology I'm going to recommend is Vampires Never Get Old by Soroida Cordova and Natalie Porter. This collective vampire stories really giving me creeps. I just really love every story of this author. It's just giving me creeps, and I fall in love in some stories, and I just really can't wait to read more of the vampire stories. I just can't, I just really want to hug some vampires, and I just really want to stay away from them. And it's just that I just really love a really good vampire story, and this one just these tales are never gets old, and I just highly recommend for you guys. If you really love a vampire story, I highly recommend for you guys to read this anthology, because it's really perfect. They have like this backstory from years ago, from centuries, and it's a really great. It's just really perfect to read it. Next anthology I'm going to recommend is Slasher Girls and Monster Boys by stories collected by April Tuchok. I think I said your wrong name. I'm really sorry. These stories are absolutely incredibly good. These are supernatural horror things, and it's just giving me the creeps and vibes of autumn. I just really love the cozy vibes of some stories, and this book is just creeping me out every single time I see Miss Shelf. You can totally see the cover right here. It's perfectly good for autumn reads. The final book to my top 10 Thursday read is Life is Short and Then You Die. Collected stories by, I think, Kelly Armstrong. This book is absolutely mysteriously good. There's a collective, a really short story, but it gives me the impact of horror thing. This totally give me creeps. The mystery of the book just keeping me in line. I just completed the book for one day, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. The collective stories, you feel like it happened in the real life. I don't know, maybe, but it's just beautifully written. And then when I saw R.L. Stine was in this collective story, I was like, oh shit, I'm going to read this book, and I absolutely adore his writing. And then to the other authors, I just really love their mystery. They keep their mystery in the book. That really keeps me wondering, who did this, who did that? And it's a really bloody book also, because there's some murderous thing going on in there, and it's really perfect for this season read. So we come to an end to my video. I really hope you guys enjoy it, because I just really love recommending some books to read this fall season, and it's really perfect to read spooky reads, because it's autumn and Halloween is near. Halloween is coming near, so I really highly recommend for you guys to read the books that I've said. And if you have some recommendation, comment down to the comments. I really want to read some of your recommendation. Plus, if you really like my video, please like them, and if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel, and let's see to do more bookish stuff, right? So anyway, thank you so much again for watching. If you want to see more of my videos, you can totally see here. My recent videos, and you can totally subscribe here. So again guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!